Warning, these stunts were performed by professionals. Sometimes. Anyway, Travis Pastrana here. Welcome to the director's commentary. Might as well get right into this thing. Now, this film was a true passion project. And at the end of the day, it's going to be done by the writers, going to be done for the writers. And it was awesome. A lot of fun making it. Actually started up. Subtractive really helped us out with this first piece right here. Was pretty cool. Their depiction of Tommy might have been a little bit off. We wanted to start out something that just kind of showed, the start of this. And this was actually during the winter. So, mind you, we brushed the ice off before we hit it. So these guys that were going down in pretty much nothing, like you see right there, Gavin, you got Crumb, you got Gavin almost lands. Right on top of everybody. It was just a cluster. And then Tara and Jolene didn't wait quite enough to get over it. Dusty Weigel there, total overjump. Actually knocked himself out. Trevor Jacob knocked himself out. It was a rough day, but definitely totally worth it. See Steve right there. We wanted to start this off with something that just showed the height of how everything was coming in, and it was cool because right there was where the song cut for my cousin actually did that whole first part. So 95 Hyde got to work with those guys quite a bit. Just a lot of stuff that came through here, but a lot of this footage didn't even make the main cuts. We had so much extra footage. We just filmed all year just trying to make the biggest, the gnarliest stuff, and Trevor Jacob did a lot of his own stuff. Brandon Schmidt cut all of his own stuff. Rory Bushfield sent in everything for the film. We weren't even going to have a section with Rory, but as it turns out, he's just one of the gnarliest people in the world. Emma and Maddie Mack sent in a lot of their stuff. So even though we filmed so much of this, actually at my house, everybody that was in this film really went all out to get this Scotty Bob right there. So the bag jump was one of the coolest things, and that's something that I really enjoyed. And, right there, everyone's like, oh, how'd you get knocked out on the bag? You're still dropping from almost 100 feet in the air.
Talk about this.
We can't talk about this. There's nothing to say about this. Why? I mean, there's a word that's in my head. It's why.
We just went through so many different ramp transitions, and that's Nate Wessel. The guys just went all out. Comb over Steve. Even though they're up run to it, Hubert, we're just working so hard to get this to where we could actually make it up to the bag. Josh Sheehan, I would have loved to have seen some of the other stuff that he probably could have pulled off, but that triple took everything. Thomas and I really worked on some other stuff, like the front flip variations, and right there I was going for a double flip 360, basically a double cork 1080. Paget had 720s pretty much style, but when it came down to it, just wasn't willing to go that high and go to a landing. So, we weren't either, actually, as it turns out, but we just kept working with the bag jump guys, kept working with them just to try to figure out something that would work and that we could land. I mean, even that, the impact is so hard. Everyone's like, oh, I'd try that to a bag. I'm like, honestly, we've had about 30 of the top racers and riders in the world out to the house, and there's only been 4 of us, that includes Trevor Jacob, who definitely shouldn't have hit it, that have ever even tried it. I mean, Kenny Bartram came out, X Games Gold Medals, looked at it and just laughed. He's like, you guys are idiots. So this was actually, as high as that looks, that's less high than we're going. That's 96 feet, but, take the bag away. That's less high off the bag than Sheehan's going right now with a dirt bike. That's 250 pounds over his head. It just gives you a little bit of a reference to the height of the magnitude of this. And this is what you see. You just see the bag and you're falling out of the sky, and that's Sheehan was pissing blood for about a week after this, coughing up blood right away. It's an impact. Dusty Weigel right here is pretty funny. One of my favorite sections. He always has the funniest things to say because he when he hurts himself, he doesn't stop. So he always just he's kind of like talking to himself right here. He's not even talking to camera.
I kind of made it.
But this was a big thing for him because Dusty is one of the most badass guys I've ever met in my entire life. He works so hard and he's so good at everything, but he's never really had a section. He's never been the best at anything. And he went down to Trevor Jacob's house, and this was only about a month before we went into production. And he's like, I just want to be the first one to do, with a full suspension downhill bike. I want to do a backflip 360. And he built the ramp, and it was pretty good. Trevor's house is awesome. Just Trevor was so helpful and everything, and Dusty got some of the top guys out there to really help him just kind of build stuff and shape stuff. And that's the whole reason we really made Action Figures, was to try to push the limits of the sports, but also us as individuals. So Dusty, who is a professional land boogie boarder right here, is trying a trick that no one else has ever done. And he went through, I think, 15 rims. He actually had to come back. He went back with a whole bunch more and better rims. And right there was the closest he came to breaking anything, because he hit the ground so hard. But at the end of the day, it was just his passion to go up there and say, look, let's see if I can do this. And it wasn't even going to be a section. But we went up there, Marty Smith, James Smith's brother. James was one of the guys that this was kind of our idea to start the Action Figures and kind of film, what these guys did in the off time. Because I mean, almost all these guys are part of Nitro Circus, and for them, when they go home from Nitro Circus, a lot of them just kind of get healed up. But for the most part, these guys are the most ADHD, want to do stuff new, want to do awesome stuff. And this is Dusty Weigel. I mean, lawn dart front flip, and I feel like video never does anything justice. I mean, that's a full suspension bike, and he's hitting that hard. It's a really big jump, and even though it's a step up, it's a heck of a landing these guys were doing. So Dusty had never done a super flip on a bicycle on a full suspension before that day. So proud of Dusty for that. This next section was awesome because Frack Attack, yay! The guy on the front of that bike right there is actually the Nitro Circus mechanic. And then this happened. Broken tip fib. This is one of our good friends, Dr. Dennis, man, just rad guy. He's put my dad together, put me together, put Jolene together, put pretty much most of the Nitro crew together.
Which is all gory. And then we'll put the plate in and screw them, and he'll like that too.
And then this is actually third gear pinned on a 250. So I don't think most people understand the height of that, because you see some of the other jumps where it's, fourth gear pinned on a 250 doing the triple backs and stuff. So that was pretty wild. And that was all in December and January. It's Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's holiday.
What do you think, James?
This is actually
most of this was filmed and edited by James Smith.
So one of the sections that I edited was the BMX Big Air section, and it was pretty much the coolest thing watching these athletes build and test these ramps and really do revolutionary tricks for action sports. And it was everything from inline skates to BMX bikes to skateboards and to scooters, which our Willie is one of the coolest ones to watch, because he'd go on a scooter, then go back to a BMX bike, and then back to a scooter, and just do mind-blowing tricks. And then James Foster, one of the most amazing BMX riders, actually did a world record in the section at the very end when you see him go to the resi, and that was one of the coolest icing on the cake moments, because it was something that revolutionized his sport, and we were all a part of it, between building the ramps, setting the ramps up, setting the airbag up, and being pretty much, between cameras and working nonstop between flipping the airbag up to the moto, down back to the BMX. It was definitely all hands on deck, and everybody had a huge part in making this, possible for these athletes to push the limits of action sports.
Couldn't agree more, man. Absolutely amazing. Our Willie is the best action sports athlete I've ever seen in my life. And look at this quad flip. He was only at my house for 2 days and just sent it. So amazing. James Foster, if he wasn't searching for that quad flip and trying to do that first, and really welding and working with the ramps and everything, I really think he would have landed so many world's firsts on this trip. I mean, he was just out there just every day launching stuff and doing stuff. That was amazing, but his main focus, of course, was to be the first one to ever land the quad flip. And he got this setup so dialed and so perfect. He's just a precisionist. And you see right here, like, he bailed off, and that's another broken rib. Like, I don't know if he didn't give enough time for the ribs to come back, but he wanted it so bad. And it was awesome to see his dedication. Thank you to Trip Taylor for getting the rad movie clip in here. For anyone that doesn't know what this clip is, which I figure is most of our younger audience, look up the movie Rad. I actually have it on DVD now. It's pretty sweet. It was on VHS before. I don't know if you guys know what VHS is, but turns out that was what we used to watch things on. So, you know, be kind, rewind. Anyway, that really made this section, and it was a transition. Now, the interesting part about this was James Smith edited this whole section, filmed this whole section, and it was tough because everybody did such gnarly stuff to the bag, and then when it came down to it, on their first or second jump, everyone kind of got injured on this landing. It was a little bit of a resi landing, but we didn't really build it correctly the first time. So sorry guys, apologize for all the action figures for that one. It's a little bit too flat. It looks steep, but you're just really dropping from so high. Happy came out actually after the rest of the guys and just dropped in, and thank goodness, because he's just, you know, Happy's the man. He stuck pretty much everything that he did. This Jolene, I mean, she is Nitro Girl. This is absolutely amazing. The cameras weren't even ready for this. This is actually, David Wells was filming this one. And that leads us into the women's section, which was really cool. I wasn't sure if I was gonna put this in, but Emma McFerrin, she was fine after this. I mean, not fine, of course. And then that's my wife, obviously, Lindsay. She drops in the Americas section first. Tara Geiger, one of the most rad all-around chicks ever, and of course Jolene Van Booth. So this is actually my cousin did this song. I actually helped her write it, and for 95 High was pretty cool. So we had a girl singing the song. Feels like all these girls are basically like my sisters. You know, it just felt like I did the editing to this one. It felt like one of just my favorite sections in the whole film, and Maddie Mack actually sent us a lot of this footage. Emma is her brother's Maddie, and you know, she's a badass on motorcycles. She's, you know, the second girl to ever flip a full-size bike. And then Tara, I mean, she's on a downhill mountain bike right there. She didn't even ride downhill mountain bike. You can't say enough about this girl. There she is on a jet ski. I mean, she gives Slasher a run for his money on those things. She's absolutely amazing. There's whips way bigger than I can, which isn't really saying that much because I can't whip it. But Tara, I mean, just a rad, all-around, fun, awesome human being. You know, it's awesome. My wife skates and I ride, of course, and to be able to travel the world with my wife and do all this stuff is such an awesome dream come true for me, and you know, just such a cool family environment. And this is Tara throwing a huge whip. Jolene actually did not want that shot in the film because she's like, that's not fair. Like, Tara whips better than any guy. Like, how can you put her in the same thing? And this, honestly, Jolene, her first ever front flip, first attempt at a front flip, you know, in front of everybody. And just such a rad thing, and a really, really awesome experience. This is so cool. This is pretty cool because we came to the house and I was like, man, we got to do a big jump in the razors. This would be awesome. And Crumb was like, I want the jump. I want the house jump. Well, as it turns out, Crumb and Tommy flipped the razor every 10 seconds. Like, I put them on this little course, like the pit bike course. I was like, hey guys, just ride around here for a couple minutes. I'm going to go work with Sheehan on this triple backflip a little bit more. And I came back and both razors are totaled. I mean, they had flipped, Crumb had flipped 3 times. Tommy had flipped twice. And Tommy, when he flipped, he almost flipped into Bruce Cook, who's paralyzed.
Now, if I can't make that corner, Travis is going to have to do this. The best time to learn how to...
I was really not optimistic that Crumb was going to be able to pull this off. I don't even know how they were so bad at these. I mean, it takes skill to drive as poorly as they did. But congratulations, they made it. And this is the road I grew up on, and it was cool because we actually went right through my uncle's flower pit. And sorry, Paula, over the house. But Crumb did such an amazing job, and not only did he do the jump, although he was 5 mile-an-hour short. So he came around the corner, and I'm like, don't hit it unless you're at 43. He was like, well, I was at 40, but that was the best I was going to get, so I hit it anyway. And it actually turned out perfect because I didn't calculate it right, and there was about a 10-foot step down. So if I would have hit it, I probably would have gone too far and taken out that power line pole right by my grandma's house. But definitely really proud of Crum for stepping up and getting around that corner well and not having the speed, but still going for it anyway.
I was scared shitless.
This is Trevor Jacobs' section. So Trevor edited this whole section. He worked a lot with Marty Smith, and just to get this thing kind of dialed in. Everything here was completely his idea, except for getting on the back right here, where that was my idea. Don't try this at home. This is really dumb. If the driver is ever wearing a helmet and strapped into a 5-point harness, it's probably not a good idea to get on the back, kids, just for the record. But it worked out, so it was good. We did that like 30 or 40 times. That was actually almost a 100-foot jump right there, which was pretty cool. So this was one of the few shots that we used from earlier footage, but at the end of the day, that was pretty gnarly. He jumped off a tree to not die. This right here, Trevor's Olympic snowboarder, amazing skater, amazing BMX, not wearing a helmet through most of his section. Pretty gnarly. The only skateboarder to ever double backflip. I know Danny Wayne, everyone's like, it doesn't count because it's to a resi and stuff, and he grabbed onto her. I don't know. But at the end of the day, this guy is an absolute badass. He is so good at everything. He is the true definition of action figure and exactly why we made his film. Just to showcase guys like Trevor. He edited this entire piece. He is snowboarding, Olympic snowboarder, just true badass. I mean, helicopter off there. He had some shots that actually most of what Trevor does is not legal, and where he like base jumps and snowboards, and he jumped over a train that we couldn't use and some other stuff that was pretty rowdy. So I feel like if he ever had like a YouTube channel, I wasn't worried about going to jail. The travels of Trevor Jacobs would be probably the most amazing video you've ever witnessed in your life. And definitely, as you see here, he's just rowdy. I mean, this is his parents' house. This is his house. Jumps on my motorcycle. So this was an extra. I said $100 to anyone that does a backflip. And he actually knocked himself silly and didn't remember doing that. But I mean, jumping wake skate to skateboard onto this and then totally racked his nuts on this. But, worth it for the shot. I mean, just the creativity of this guy is above and beyond. And he filmed, like I said, all of this pretty much on stuff. That does not do that justice. That was probably the gnarliest thing in this whole section, if you ask me. Other than this hand plant, which, I mean, God bless it. Trevor, very proud of you, man. Thanks for everything.
Is my parachute gonna rip off?
Base jumping. Man, Wheels was so scared, and Rubs, dude, so amazing. That's an amazing human being, and just helped us out with everything that we probably shouldn't have been doing in Nitro Circus, but he was our safety guy. He's so thorough on everything that he did, and it was amazing to get Wheels out there. Wheels was so excited to go base jumping, and when he got there, we realized he was afraid of heights, like so deathly afraid of heights. Just being up on that bridge scared him to death, and it was funny because we kept saying, okay, well, if you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it, man. Like, we put him up on this bridge, and he's like, I want to come down. We're like, you sure? We'll take you down. He's like, no. Like, he wanted that push, and he wanted to do it, but Wheels it's amazing all the stuff that he does and everything he's overcome, and yet he's so afraid of heights. And then this truck did not help right here. Came by and just, but it was funny because he starts his countdown and then stops and restarts it again. But when he goes, he does full commitment. And that's the thing about Wheels in his life. When he decides to do something, he's in. I mean, you couldn't have done that any better with any better form. And right here, just so proud of himself. He's like, I did it, guys. Just typical Wheels fashion, man. Pretty rad. So this was, I love that bridge. It's one of the few places to legally base jump. So you can really set it up. This was Dusty's first ever base jump. He was going to get a skydive license beforehand, but they were going over the rules for so long. And then they said the winds were too high. So he was like, skydive Elsinore, that's okay. I'll just go base jump first time. It's cool. And he did an amazing job. Brandon Lillard right there. Just rowdy all around guy. Was also on kind of for safety and honestly almost died on this trip. Was freaking gnarly, man. Just base jumping it's tough. I mean, it's something that is the most fun you'll ever have and the most adrenaline you'll ever have, but you can get yourself in a bad situation really quick. And this was actually where Brandon, you see him standing up right there. he was going next, and I messed this up as bad as I could have. I mean, I was scared completely to death, in the worst form ever. Scotty Bob, there's not much you can say about this. We wanted some wingsuit stuff in there, and honestly, my wife, she says one thing that I can't do is wingsuit, and I'm fully on board with that. I mean, if you push yourself, look how close. I mean, this is amazing. And this, that shot, one of my favorite shots. They're actually two amazing skydive base jump girls as well. When you're doing the wingsuits and it's pushing like Scotty's pushing, any wind burble, anything, man, it's the most, for me, this is the most insane section on the entire video for sure. And just, I mean, splitting those trees and going down, and this run, far and away the gnarliest run I've ever seen personally in wingsuiting. And once you're in, you can't get out. Like you're locked in, and it's, you know, you got to make it through here, and you got to fly the best you can, and you can't, you know. He actually hit a limb on one of his runs down, and it's like, man, just pushing it. Love that guy.